Hello and welcome back. Today was another adventure. I was going to record this morning, but I was like, you all don't want to see me driving down the highway again. So, little sneak peek what we got today. Let's turn this around so you ain't got to be guessing what it is until it's time. So anyways, another almost 2 hours one way on the road. A couple of hours there loading up, and got home a few hours ago. Yeah, quite an adventure. So getting the car on the trailer wasn't too horrible, but the bed is full. There's parts inside. The bed of the truck is full, and the back seat has some fenders for neon. There was a lot again, and I still have to go back one more time and get another car and a bunch more parts. So this car, I was coming home, and I always strap them on the corners as I leave the winch hooked up. But you notice these two big straps. Well, there's a reason for those. So I was coming down the highway doing about 70, because I don't really drive that fast when I have a car on the trailer. I don't get like in a hurry. I stay in the right lane and just do my time. And if people don't like it, they can go around me, because it's all interstate, 3-lane. So there's plenty of room for others to go around. But anyways, I'm really one of those guys that kind of looks in the mirror often enough. And I noticed that the truck cap was floating, starting to lift. So I slowed down, made a few people mad, but they'll get over it. Life will go on, because I'm sure that they would have knew the situation. They would rather I slowed down than continue, doing 70 and a truck cap fly off into their windshield or into their car. And I don't want to deal with that. Obviously, that would have been a nightmare. So I slowed down, found the first exit, and put the two big straps on it and come on home. Hit a little rain on the way home, nothing major. And then I got at my exit to come on west from where I was at. I was north, so I had to come south and then west to come home. And traffic was backed up for miles. But fortunately, my exit is where it stopped. So anyways, enough of that. This is a I believe it's an 84. It's got 84 nose. So 84 Rampage with a fiberglass top. Once I loaded the truck on, actually before I loaded on, I looked and there's clamps. But apparently running down the highway, they must have came off. I haven't even looked, didn't care enough to look. I just wanted to get it home. So anyway, pretty rough little car, truck, whatever you want to call it. This quarter's completely gone. This front quarter is gone. The rocker's gone. I don't know about the doors yet. Again, I haven't gotten that far. This fender is actually going to be probably no good. Yep, it's no good, because it's rotted across the bottom as well. And I've never seen this, but it's rotting right here too. And it's got a hole here. So this passenger fender's junk. The hood, they had put hood pins in it. So it's just a flat hood, nothing special. I'll probably keep the nose. I don't know. I'm not sure what all I'm going to keep on this yet. Haven't gotten that far. The driver's fender actually looks good. The door got a pretty good size knot in it. That could probably be fixed. But here's the cool part. Well, I can't open it from the outside. The door handle's broke. The cool or gross part about this little thing is, so the window was left down, and apparently rats or raccoon or something had a heyday. Check out that steering wheel. They must have really liked the taste of that vinyl. But what's amazing is it didn't touch the horn pad. I don't know, but it's a brown tan interior truck. Unfortunately, the seats, the same thing. You can see they ate the heck out of the foam, ate the heck out of the back. And then the headliner might be savable. The board might be savable. But so they got the door panel on the driver's side, unfortunately. So, this is a kind of a unique color. But, and then here they chewed all of it there. passenger side doesn't look bad. What is it with these two cars? The last two we've gotten, both of them, driver's side door panels were junk, passenger sides were good. So we'll save them. Driver's rear quarter panel, completely gone. And it's got a little bit there at the front. But the cool stuff, get up here, is in here. So, and we got Shelby Charger air dams. Got so many of those already. But this spoiler is a rubbery spoiler. It's not a factory L-body spoiler. That's an NOS side skirt for, I believe, is it a Daytona? And then somewhere mixed in here, we'll know more once I get it all dug out. There is an aftermarket air dam and side extensions. He didn't know what they were for. He said they were for L-body, but he didn't know the brand or anything. We'll get to those once we get to it. So for now, I'm looking at this. The two rear clamps are still attached to this cap. It was the front two that were not attached. So, not just the bed of the little truck, but the bed of the pickup, the Tundra, is full. These are all wheels. There's a door that's pretty hammered on the end, another 4 headlight nose, and then there's another door, another Rampage rear bumper, and then from here all the way to the front and across the front is all smalls. All small stuff. So that's all stuff I just gotta pull the truck over to the garage and pull out and start sorting. But then we also got 3 neon fenders. So there was a lot today. A lot of stuff to load. Fortunately, the bed of the Rampage was pretty much loaded already. So we just had to secure everything. So now I get to unhook the trailer from the truck and move the truck over so I can get it unloaded sometime, probably tomorrow. I'm not doing it today, but get it unloaded, go through the parts, and figure out what we got. But for right now, once I unhook the trailer and move the truck out of the way, this engine is coming out. As you saw in the last video, we know it runs. So my plan tonight, I was going to do this tomorrow, but it's nice out. I don't have anything else going on. I got to wait here for a customer to come to pick up some parts, so I got to be outside anyways. Now's the time. Let's see if we can get this engine and transmission out. So that's my goal now. So I'm gonna turn on some music and work and get this done. I forgot something. Forgot one little tidbit about this 84 Rampage that we just brought home today. Yep, it's been converted. It has been converted to 2.2 turbo. Supposedly this engine did run. He kept the camshaft, so we obviously won't be able to get it running. And there's no engine harness, there's no computer. But there's another, so what we need is another engine. But there's another engine that we would be able to pull. Even if we can't confirm it runs, I can still, somebody needs a short block or whatever. So yeah, that was a little surprise on that. But anyways, let's get busy. Well, today is Friday and I haven't really done much of anything all week. I mean I have, but nothing worth videoing. So what have I gotten done? Sunday, I don't even remember. I think it was Sunday. I worked on the 83 Charger. We got the engine out, engine transmission out, and then I finished it Sunday, and then I think it was Monday. I don't remember, but anyways, it is now on the trailer, and the little Rampage is in its place. I still have some things to do on the 83 Charger. So mainly the last few things I got to do is I got to jack it up, get the rear spindles, the rear hubs, probably pull the front knuckles. I'm debating on the K-member, and then drop the gas tank out of it because the pump actually worked. So I'm hoping that it's salvageable. Worst case scenario, we'll get the filler neck out of it and then do the tank later. And then the exhaust. For some reason, it seems the exhaust is getting harder to find for these things. I don't know why an exhaust shop can't just make pipe, but I don't run one, so I don't know. And then this one, the 83 Charger's also got a little hitch. We're gonna pull the hitch off of it. I don't know what kind of trailer you could pull with one of these little cars, but it is what it is. And then the ignition switch for the key, because then we will have the key for both doors and the hatch and the ignition be all one key. So we'll be able to sell that as a set for anybody that's missing one of those. And then the turn signal stalk. What I'm probably honestly going to end up doing is the pin that holds the steering column to the rack on that. So no body's held in with a roll pin, whereas the Daytona LeBaron it just slips on. So knock the roll pin's only in like that far out of that much. So it's in about a quarter of the way. So I'll put a pair of vice grips on it, tap it a few times, it should pop out. I'll just pull the whole column off of it. Be quicker than trying to struggle, getting all that apart inside the car. And then I'll bring it in the garage here and finish stripping it down at a later date. That car, like I said, is done. We had 2 customers come in Sunday and then one Saturday, the day we picked up this Rampage. Saturday, they needed a left front fender for a Charger. We hooked them up. And then Sunday, the folks from Illinois came back and they got a hood. Unfortunately, we're going to have to exchange hoods, which is not a big deal. I didn't realize that he had a Shelby Charger nose on his car, and the Shelby Charger hood's different than one of these hoods. So we'll fix it. We'll make it right. Oh, and they got the side scoops off the little Charger and something else. Oh, license plate bracket. And they bought a couple t-shirts. Thank you for that. And then the other customer came and got an engine harness for an 85 Turbo Daytona. His is an 87, and I told him that everything's going to be different. He said he'd fix it. He wasn't worried about it, so hopefully he gets that figured out and is able to work on that. Get that car back up and running. So meanwhile, right now, I just finished mowing, weed eating, and now it's sprinkling rain, and it's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I should just call it a night, go in and ship sales, and be done, but it's not cold out. So I think what I might try to do is go through all of this. I've been through some of this already. Some of it's junk, some of it's, sellable. But I know there's other stuff down below. I've pulled all this stuff out once already. When we picked up the car, there is a cool piece. There's an NOS, I believe it's the passenger side skirt for an 89 up Shelby Daytona. And then there was another piece that was 2 pieces actually that were really, really unique. I've never seen them before. Maybe I showed this already, and if I did, I apologize. But it's this black nose, lower air dam. It's aftermarket. There's no brand name on it. And then it comes with these 2 little side skirts that go on the front fenders. And then this spoiler, I think I did talk about this. I'm probably repeating myself. This spoiler, it has a brand name on it. I looked up the brand name and it's all in German. The instruction sheets are in German. I don't know what they are. So, anyways, we've actually sold a few parts off this 84 Rampage already. Nothing significant. Had somebody that needed the crankshaft bolts. So we got all 5 of those. They're already on their way to them. And then we had somebody else that needed the steering column trim. They have a tan interior, and they said brown would be okay. Unfortunately, the upper that was already removed and laying on the floor is broke right through here. So we got them a brown upper, and we sent them a red lower because they said they're going to have to paint it anyways. And my thought process was red will be easier to hide than dark blue or black, especially if going tan. So, they knew that, so hopefully they're okay with that. But those parts are already shipped and on their way. So like I said, I might work on trying to clean out the bed of this little Rampage. We got the cap listed for sale for $250. It needs new seals and cleaned up. It's very mildewy, moldy from sitting. And then it appears that it did at one time have some kind of a rack. Like it would have had a chrome thing that went up and met at the point and went down the other side, because there's a hole here, hole here, and then more that are in the same place on the other side. I don't know about up here, so I don't know. That's how I'm advertising it, is that it had something on the roof of it at one point in time, but it's a fiberglass cap, and I'd really love to find it a home. I really don't have to store this thing here at the house. I really don't have any place to put such a big item, but I'll figure it out if it comes to that. Something else I have to try to remember. So I make notes. I send my wife notes, like I need to do this, this, and this, and then by the time I get done, I forget about it, and then I'm like, crap, I didn't do this, this, or this. I have somebody that needs a set of L-body seat tracks. We've got a set. Those seats way up there in the corner. I can pull those down and get those ready to ship. They actually contacted us on turbododge.com, so we're on Turbo Dodge. Of course, eBay is our prominent one. All the Facebook groups, as far as I know, at least the biggest majority, the bigger ones. I do post on Instagram if I remember, and then I do some TikTok, not very much. So basically, eBay, Facebook, and YouTube are our three biggest platforms. So if you can follow us on any of those are the ones that I would recommend to be the most. I always tell customers that are looking for parts to follow our YouTube channel, because anytime we get something in, that's where it goes. So like this, what's in the bed of this, we've got a bunch of these side skirts, but if there's anything else in here that you see in this video, make sure you screenshot the part that it's in and send me a message. You can email me, forgottendailiesllc@gmail.com. I'll put a link in the description. That's going to be the easiest way to find out what we get in new. And then, of course, the cars are simple because I do a complete walk around on every car. With that said, I got some questions to answer on eBay, some messages, and a few emails I got to take care of real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and start pulling some stuff out of this car and see what kind of treasures may be lurking inside. Okay, so it's Sunday, the day before Memorial Day. And we're out here working on the Rampage again. So yesterday, I'm going to show you some things. I spent about, a couple 3 hours, not quite 3 hours, out here. And the interior is done. Windows are out, glass is out. I got the regulators to pull. Got door handles off, seat belts, the entire dash as you see, kick panels, etc., etc. The only thing I do not have yet is the shifter, because excuse me, I cannot find the Allen size to take it off, so I just was going to remove the whole shifter as one unit with the cover and everything, and then put it on the bench and then figure it out later. Unfortunately, one of the bolts just wants to spin. So my plan is to take Sawzall, go in and cut around where that bolt is spinning, just to get the darn thing out of the car, and then carry on from there. So, you also can notice, whoa, the engine is hanging. So I was told that this engine ran, but I was told that this engine was put in this car and ran. I don't believe that. So the reason I don't believe that is because there is zero wiring harness. The axle shafts were not in it. The power steering lines were not hooked up. The speedometer cable wasn't hooked up. The shifter wasn't hooked up. I think what happened was this engine was sat in here to become a project, and it never transpired. So this engine may have ran. I won't say it didn't, but it did not run, in my opinion, in this Rampage. So I've also seen a lot of people talk about that you need one of those engine levelers, and it's easier to go out the bottom of these, and I've pulled, I don't even know, probably north of 40, 50 maybe of these engines through the years, and I've went out the bottom twice. The first time it was a complete nightmare trying to get the car up high enough. Then you gotta pull this full engine and transmission out from under the car. Well, that wasn't any fun. And the second time I did it was an accident. The engine actually, I was readjusting the chain and it fell all the way down and hit the floor. So I was like, well, I guess we're going out the bottom on this one. But anyways, every other one I've done has been through the top. So I do not use an engine leveler. what I do is my chain hooks around the water pump housing, and then it'll go around the throttle body, around through here on this style 86 and older engines. 87 and up, I go around the intake neck. But I just use the chain, and then I use a screwdriver to hold the hook for the cherry picker to hold it in place. And then that engine will come out at that kind of an angle. The reason you need it to be at an angle is because you've got to get the transmission down as the engine comes up in order for, you can remove this mount if desired, but in order to clear the master cylinder and this bracket, the transmission mount bracket, it's easier if you get it at an angle than coming straight up. It'll never come straight up. Another thing that I do is I remove this front engine mount, the one that comes out and connects to the radiator support. I completely remove it because that sticks out a little ways, and what can happen is it'll catch on the radiator support. And if you have, hopefully you got the radiator out before you get this far, but excuse me. So, but if you have an AC condenser, that can catch that as well. And it's just easier. It's 4 bolts, 4 18 millimeter bolts, and it's out. You got this one, and then one down below. You have to get underneath the car for that. Just use an 18 millimeter half-inch ratchet and socket, short socket. You don't need a deep well, and they'll come out. And then this one here on the very bottom needs to come out to disconnect that mount from the body, and then you'll remove these 2 top bolts. These 2 are 13. This particular one was an 18. I've seen 20 on newer stuff, so I think they upgraded as they got newer. But, and then remove the alternator. I know it seems redundant to remove the alternator, but you got to remember that alternator hangs clear out here, so that gives you this much more room again to clear the radiator support. So I'm going to go ahead and get this engine the rest of the way out. I'm going to send a message to the transmission guru on these. His name's Ed Papp. Papp's Transmissions, I believe, is his business name. But I'm going to see if he wants anything off of this A413. If not, it's going to go back inside this car. I don't keep automatic transmissions because I've never sold one, and most people are going 5 speeds. So let's finish getting this thing out, get it on the ground, and we'll go from there. And like that, it's on the ground. One thing I do like to do is once you get it cleared, is I will bring it back and sit it down as soon as I can. I don't like to leave an engine hanging up here in midair. One, it's dangerous, and it's, I mean, that's it really. It's dangerous, it's unsafe. So bring it out, sit it on the ground, and then you can gather up your things that you're gonna need, whatever you're gonna put it on, a stand or whatever, and then you can move it back to there. Once you dismount the transmission, you lighten this a lot. However, right now, this is pretty heavy, and you don't want it falling on your floor or on you. Another thing is, it should be common sense, but get you a nice big pry bar. So as you're pulling this engine up, you know, sometimes, like this one here, the water pump pulley was kind of catching over here. So you stick this pry bar in, and you just kind of give it a little work and manipulate it around, and it frees it up. Never, ever, 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 ever put your hand in there to try to do that. Let this tool, this pry bar, let it take any damage, because God forbid this thing shifts unexpectedly. That's a good way to smash and break fingers, or smash and break a hand, or who knows. So never, ever, ever, ever use your hands to manipulate maneuvering this as you're pulling it out. Always use a pry bar, pry bars, whatever you need. Never put your hands down inside. So anyway, I'm going to get this transmission apart so I can get rid of it, and then figure out what I'm going to do with this engine.